Welcome back to Divided We Stand. I'm Victoria Lang, along with Joe Aguirre and Robert Benjamin. Today, we're going to be starting off. We have the vote up right now. We got the live stream as we speak of Amy Coney Barrett. We're going to see, she most likely, we all know what's going to happen right now, but we're going to be the first to know. We're going to be the first to know as it's happening what's going on.
Live in action.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. It seems that only Senator Susan Collins of Maine, who is facing a bit of a battle for re-election, if you will, who's come out and said that she feels like this is a bad idea this close to an election.
Yeah.
And, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska put up some slight objection, but basically said once they got out of the original hearing, if she was confirmed and had to go before the full Senate, that she would vote in favor of confirmation. And I'm not sure if Vice President Harris is here for a vote or not.
And she send like proxy?
You have to be in person to vote, and I'm not sure whether or not she's there or was going to make it. I mean, it wouldn't make a difference anyway, unfortunately. And yeah, look, this has been unfortunately a foregone conclusion, and I don't like it. It's a shame that so many Republicans, Rob, went out of their way 4 years ago with Merrick Garland to say that you don't do this in an election year.
Yeah.
And to be a week, boom. Are you guys, is this really happening?
Are there any?
We kind of knew that they were going to do this, though. We knew that back against the wall when it was, when it came down to it, they were going to think about themselves. But honestly, I think that it's because of who's pushing the agenda. Let me shut up first.
Of Indiana to be an associate justice of the Supreme Court of the United States is confirmed.
52-48.
You heard it here. Confirmed.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's a done deal.
This is a somber moment on Divided We Stand.
Listen, I gotta be honest. I'm gonna say this about Justice Barrett.
Say it.
And it's gonna be nice, believe it or not.
Couldn't be me.
We've seen now. This is the third time President Trump has put somebody on the Supreme Court, and I understand. People feel a certain way about Brett Kavanaugh with good reason. In light of the way he conducted himself, but he got in a 51-49. This is where the Supreme Court is: 52-48, 51-49, and yet a stimulus package, Rob,
has still yet to come around.
Needs 60 votes. You need a super majority. You got to have the 60 to pass it. They can't. I mean, is this stunning? A lifetime appointment.
Just with
barely cracked the threshold. But I will say this about both Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. They've done a pretty good job.
They have.
They really have.
And honestly, I think that if he would have just went about this the right way, or even if waited to maybe if he won re-election, I don't think it would have been as nasty. But just to throw it in their face, and then for everybody, for all of Republicans and conservatives, because I now split Republicans and conservatives into different parties. They know that this is going to bite them in the ass, and I think it's just because they're fearless leader.
By the way, if you want to hear Rob explain that tonight, 9:00, we'll go live with "I'll Piss You Off Shortly," and I know that is a topic we're going to get into tonight, and I think there's a lot to that party. And it stuns me. Well, it doesn't stun me. Susan Collins had always been looked at as the moderate voice of reason. And, If not for a tough election year, I don't think she would have done any of the posturing. I you know what I mean? I think that Republicans and Democrats are at the point where it's cats and dogs. We're at a real crossroads. And all I can do is hope that Justice Coney Barrett, I'm not going to call her AOC. I won't do it, or whatever ABC, whatever her stupid name is. I'm not doing it.
Oh
I'm not
my
doing it.
God.
I have no interest in doing it.
Why do they want to? Oh, and I was gonna try to like be
Because of
devil's
Ruth
advocate.
Bader Ginsburg. You know, look, I saw some stuff earlier the week about,
She does
you know,
not deserve the acronym.
if you're a feminist, you should be proud of a woman just because her beliefs are different. No, her beliefs are the
Her
antithesis
beliefs
of,
are
like,
to take away like literally everything we've worked so hard for, and that's why I'm sick right now. I don't feel good after seeing that.
Only time will tell. Only time will truly tell if she's really gonna have it. And I almost forgot that I was supposed to be playing devil's advocate this episode, so I'm supposed to be playing conservative. So like, this is great, right? This is an amazing day in history. We were able to, you know, take over and make sure that we put our foots in our mouth for the rest of, you know, the next 4 years at least. But she's gonna be great. She's gonna, you know, I think she's gonna have the peace of mind of everybody at heart, right? She's gonna be, you know, she's gonna not put her views in front of anything else, because I don't see how you just switch your views from on and off. Me personally, but you know, hey, she's gonna do great things. Like, so okay, so what I'm saying, like, I don't understand. So like, her beliefs, right? She's saying she can separate her beliefs from her job. I don't understand. Like, there's no, like, I don't see how you can really separate your beliefs from what you're supposed to make judgment by, right? Because in the back of your head, there's still going to be that moral thing. So then in that way, right, if she's saying, okay, well, I'm going against my beliefs, well, are you truly just doing that because you want to try and prove that you're going against your beliefs, or are you going to be able to back up, you know what I'm saying, like, back up what goes against your beliefs or goes for your beliefs? I think it's going to be a messy situation. It's a lose-lose. It's hard to explain. I wish I had like a whiteboard.
You know, I think she, in her hearing, I thought she did a good job, and it wasn't a particularly contentious confirmation. The Democrats did what they've really, unfortunately, become very accustomed to these days, which is just a lot of posturing about, you know, your word, and you're talking to. And I have to say this: I think 100% the Republicans and Mitch McConnell believe that they're about to lose the White House. The House stays with the Democrats. There's a good chance that the Senate flips. And I think they're quite aware of that.
I think
and it's apparent that they are, Rob, because of the simple fact that Mitch McConnell didn't want to pass at all, did not want to pass the stimulus package that needs to be passed.
Yeah.
Didn't even really, you know, again, I told you guys last week, they were talking 1.8 billion, 1.8 trillion, 2.2 trillion, and Mitch McConnell, I mean, like, didn't even come to the table, really.
Do you think that they might be like trying to wait until like holiday season?
No, so you know what they're doing, Rob? Here's the plan. They know they're going to lose in a week, so you get Amy Coney Barrett in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do a stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
You let COVID burn out of control, and you hand the keys of the White House over to Biden and the Democrats. You deal with it.
That's exactly what's going on right now. That is exactly what's happening.
It's sort of the scorch and burn. I mean, it's not the best. Not the best plan, but I guess it's all they've got.
Is it kind of like
practically said, if you don't vote for me, you're not getting another stimulus package. So sucks to suck. I mean,
well, how does that go? Because that's stupid logic. Because if he gets elected, he's gonna have to give another stimulus package. So that means people voted for him. And then if he doesn't get in, well, you're not the president anymore.
Well, right, Rob. It's a blackmail. Like if you want me to fix this, reelect me. If
well,
you
guess
don't,
what?
forget about it.
I'll go trap some shit before I vote for you, asshole. It's so hard to try and play devil's advocate. I'm trying to think of stuff, and I just
now listen. You know, Tyler Bard says, "I don't feel as confident as you, Joe. They seem to be posturing in a fashion that shows they fully believe they will win." Have you heard a little bit about the this silent majority. They're continue to be under the illusion that they're not very vocal in their support for Donald Trump, and that they're trying to trick the pollsters, or even a legitimate fear that they don't want to speak out in their support of Donald Trump. But if you look at the early voting, it's all going the Democrats' way. All the polling's going the Democrats' way.
Yeah.
The coronavirus is going the Democrats' way. Everything really seems to be going the Democrats' way. And, Mark Meadows, chief of staff to President Trump, all but said they don't care. They're done with COVID. They're not going to control it. We could have 400,000 dead by the end of the year. They don't care. Did you see with the 60 Minutes interview? They did a really wonderful job. Victoria, Kaylee McEnany handed
macaroni.
Gave Leslie Stahl a book of nothing. Like stunningly, there's nothing in there. There's no health care plan.
Yeah.
For senior citizens who are increasingly going towards Joe Biden now, this should be this should seal the deal.
Right.
There is no health care plan. There won't be oh my goodness, what do you call those?
Pre-existing
conditions.
So, and like how COVID is now a pre-existing condition is not going to be covered, even though the second wave is hitting literally as the second president is coming in. Not the second, you get it.
Yeah, I think we're in a really bad spot here.
Bunker down, people.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the White House's game plan is. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I mean, it's scary. I don't understand what's even happening.
I think December is going to be nasty, especially after election, because realistically, we're not going to know anything probably until December timeframe, I believe, unless, like, for some odd reason, the young millennials that have been getting their school shot up the past couple years, that have turned 18 and like between the ages of 18 and 22, I think they forgot about them, and those party goers, rah rah, hoo ha, MAGA kids. They really don't they don't care too much in the world. That's what I'm seeing. Like they don't really start caring until they really grow up, like 26 to 30s. Whereas the younger millennials, younger liberals, they're really activists now. So like you have a bunch of kids that are like 18 years old that are just like, yep, I'm definitely going to go vote. So I think, and everybody's literally shied away from them. Trump's literally just going to old folks communities between Florida and wherever out in Midwest he goes to, and Utah and wherever. He knows that's his only hope. That's his only hope.
Spreading COVID everywhere, all to the old
He's
people.
He's going to kill his demographic anyway.
Killing his entire demographic. That's why he's losing, because he killed them all.
I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, I find this shocking. Like, thank God the Supreme Court's full. While COVID, I mean, this is an interesting stat. The U.S. reports a new COVID case every 1.26 seconds. Like 5 cases just happened when I said that. That's crazy.
Facts.
How are we going to stop this thing? The Republicans don't. I mean, again,
we can't.
To dispute what Tyler just chimed in with. There's no plan for going forward, and it's shocking. If you watch the second debate, a very coherent Donald Trump, by the way, did a pretty decent job at that debate. Does anybody know what the plan is going forward based on anything he has said other than great, and winning? What's the plan here?
Sounds like
whatever Biden's going with, because Trump's not winning, hopefully. But honestly, he has no plan. He has no plan, and you're really going to see, I think, that he's going to just continuously throw it on other people. He's going to blame the Democrats again. He's going to sit there and say the Democrats held us up with all this other stuff, and now we got to focus on. No, you've had so much time, almost a year. By the time somebody gets reinaugurated or inaugurated, whatever the case may be, it's going to be a year. And we're still going to have no plan. And guess what? Guess what gets put to the back burner if they decide to work on the COVID? Stimulus. They're not going to work on 2 things at the same time.
Well,
I mean, You know what? The other crazy thing, Victoria, is there's been an outbreak again in the White House. Mike Pence's staff is now 3 to 5 people have COVID in his office. They can't even stop it within the White House. Like the amount of incompetence I'm seeing out of the White House, literally in dealing with COVID for themselves, doesn't make me feel like this thing's going away anytime soon. They're basically just going to sit back and wait for a vaccine, which Trump
is
again
not
lied.
coming in November. Can
Trump
we just all
lied
be
this
real
week.
about that?
Right. So I'll tell you what the layout looks like, that if there's a vaccine by January, they'll administer it to seniors by February, and the rest of us might get it by next April.
And speaking on that, and he expects the military to deliver that. When he said that, I was like, I know everybody in the military that deals with logistics is like, how? I know the madness it takes to just go ahead and maneuver a company size element, 100 people, to maneuver just vehicles, let alone a vaccine. This is like a little national thing. Like, it takes a lot of planning and logistics to go into this. So he's definitely has not ran that through the military. The military has said they have no kind of plans or no kind of whatever for this, but he just expects them to push that. Like, yeah, he's tripping big time.
Tyler, thanks for this. We've got big plans, great plans, better than Joe's plans. He doesn't have a plan. I've got maybe the best plan to ever have been planned.
It's with his healthcare plan too. That's where his COVID plan is.
I mean, again, listen, if Donald Trump had gone on TV and been like, listen, here's what I'm going to do in the next 4 years, and he laid out a vision for anything, wouldn't you have been like, oh, interesting, let me weigh that against the racism and the hate and see if that's something I'm down for?
Right.
But he didn't even do that. He just continued with in the last debate, it was him attempting to push this Hunter Biden thing. And for anybody who wants to, I won't even waste the airtime with it, because I'll tell you why I won't, without getting into anything else about it. Rudy Giuliani and Steve Bannon have had this information for a year.
Nasty Rudy.
For a year. Why do you think they waited like 10 days out to drop it?
Because they're trying.
Not enough time for anybody. It's not enough time for anybody to scrutinize it, look at it, really question it.
But I don't even think it's holding, though. Like, I think it's just kind of going in the wind. Like, it's going in the cycle, and then now it's getting pushed.
Sure,
out.
But listen, what is it meant to do, Rob?
Yeah, to take him down. You know what I mean? Slander his name. But
if I can get 1,000 people in Texas to be like, nah, I knew it. I knew I couldn't trust that there Joe Biden. I'm going to just stay safe and vote for Donald Trump. Well, then I guess mission accomplished.
No.
I think for Rudy Giuliani,
nasty Rudy,
and I've got some issues. I think for a lot of us, being Connecticut people, we were very close to the 9/11 thing. To this day, you still see NYPD hats everywhere in Connecticut. Yeah. I actually was just my FDNY baseball cap on the other day. Still hot on our minds and always will be. And the reason why I bring that up is 9/11 is this moment in time, right, where Americans came together as Americans. And you hear people talk about the day after the September 12th and Glenn Beck, the opportunist extraordinaire, started kind of a movement based on the idea of 9/12, where people didn't care about your race. If you were black, Rob, it was okay on September
Mhm.
12th. And in Victoria, it didn't matter if you were a feminist liberal and I was a conservative Republican. It didn't matter.
Unless you're a Muslim.
As long as you weren't a goddamn Muslim.
I
Well,
see.
you're
Yeah,
fucking
that's right. That's
and,
right.
And so, I've seen a lot about that lately, like this need for us to have some sort of enemy. And I think it's, I think well, sure. Look, it's at a point where anybody who doesn't want to vote for Joe Biden, who's voting for Donald Trump, has either decided that liberals are the stupidest form of human.
Mhm.
And a lot of them think that.
Many have.
And I'll be honest, Victoria, at times you guys give them every reason to think it. But that's a whole other show. Or they are, I have a really good buddy of mine who was like, look, man, he goes, Trump's an asshole. 100%
Facts.
corrupt guy and all that. He goes, I'm looking at my 401k. Got a family. I'm already a Republican. What am I supposed to do?
Vote
Not
Democratic
vote for him?
because Democrats have the best history of having a good market.
He won't do it, and I don't. Look, I don't blame him. I mean, if you don't like Joe Biden, I don't think you should vote for him.
True.
That's what Joe Biden said. No, I know, Victoria, but look, here's the thing. I think Biden's a criminal. Look into it before you make fun of it. Oh, yes. Okay, Russian troll. Thanks for the comments there on the YouTube. Love being live on YouTube for that kind of stuff.
Oh, I need
Joe
to go to
Biden's-
YouTube comments.
Here's why I know Joe Biden's not a criminal. Because he's Sleepy Joe. He's an incompetent idiot. How could he be a criminal also? This is the problem with you idiots on the right, that your logic never makes any sense.
Hypocritical.
He's Sleepy Joe. He's so stupid and incompetent. But you also point out he owns a couple of homes that are worth a few million. So he's an incompetent. I mean, this is the problem with the far right, is that they're morons, and they try to sell this garbage to people. It doesn't work. Your logic is useless and it's stupid. You like, it can't be both of those things.
They learned from their fearless leader. And he must be pretty smart if he's been paying his taxes and still own multiple multi-million-dollar homes.
Right.
I'm just saying, he must be doing something right.
Look, if Joe Biden did something wrong, I guess my question is how come the Trump Justice Department hasn't put him in jail yet?
I think they're waiting.
Exactly. Like, I don't understand. Like, I really don't
Trump.
understand. If they were going to just bust open this entire Pizzagate conspiracy theory, if they were just going to call out all these pedophiles and Sleepy
I would
Joe
do
was
it now.
one of them,
I hope they're going to do it before
holdup?
the election.
Right.
They should do it before
What's
the
the holdup?
election. Otherwise, if Biden wins, he'll just pardon himself and he'll have beaten you doubly. How come
about
Barack Obama's not in jail?
Because
How come Hillary Clinton's not in jail?
Right.
It's been 4 years.
Or a baby
Hold
face.
on. Hold on. It's been 4 years of Donald Trump in charge.
Mhm.
It's Donald Trump's Justice Department. All of the top brass are Donald Trump appointees. He's been begging William Barr to do stuff. The Republican-led Intelligence Committee and Homeland Security, Foreign Intelligence Committee have all released reports that found no wrongdoing by Joe Biden and no wrongdoing by the Obama administration. And the only thing about that Biden story that looks a little iffy was that there was the China company in 2017 that Biden may have had some sort of dealing with, but by then he was already out of office. So your timeline timeline also doesn't add up. This is the problem on the right. Nothing you say ever adds up. What's the plan going forward? To just have COVID get ravage and kill people until there's a vaccine? What if the vaccine they come up with in December doesn't work?
Right.
People are so short-sighted and foolish.
Especially
and the problem
when
is
this would be the shortest amount of time for a vaccine
Victoria,
to come out ever.
all I've seen this week is people on the right trying to figure out what socialism is because they're really scared of it.
Oh my
if you
God.
could tell people about the lines in the streets for toilet paper, I'd appreciate it.
What are you talking about?
I'm joking.
If they really think that we're gonna go back to that.
Yes.
They really think that we're gonna go back to that. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with who's
I've
getting
had
office.
Idiot. Conversations with people that are like, look, I love my freedom and I don't want to have to like line up in the street and get toilet paper like they do in Venezuela.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have you not visited joebiden.org? Because I can't imagine there's pictures of Venezuela and it says, this is what we want. Like, that's not
right. Especially when it
not-
seems like everything that they're doing right now. I saw this video on Twitter. The only lines that I'm seeing that are going around blocks and down the street or everything are people who are trying to vote. And that is voter suppression right there. That's all it is. Because that's in America. They're trying. It's absolutely insane. They want Trump to win so bad.
I mean, they have to, because
Play
they're
the
gonna
song.
look like fools. They're gonna look like super fools because they know that they've been bamboozled. And I think we said this last week. They know that he's like giving them the ultimate jokes. They played his
Oh
ass.
my gosh.
Let's see here.
let's take. I've never been on this site in my life. That's how little I care about Joe Biden.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
obviously not gonna dote in anything.
I got a question. How much are those damn signs, those yard signs? Because I've seen some people with some big ass, like,
Gigantic Trump
how much
signs.
are those signs? Like, I wonder how much
Yeah.
they pay for those
Look,
or
this
donate.
looks nice. Look at here's some things
Leadership
on
is-
his page. Here, leadership in times of COVID-19, jobs and economic recovery for working families.
How about that?
Is there anything? Look and see if you see socialism. No.
An
not
economy
seeing
where
it,
everything-
y'all.
Oh, here we go. No.
Good
an
paying jobs to give
economy
American
where-
working families the tools, choices, of freedom they need to build back better. Starts with a real strategy to deal with the pandemic. This is pretty good
Everyone
stuff.
be cut in on the deal. Okay.
Does anybody see where there's lines for getting toilet paper
Yeah.
or where you sign up for welfare?
No, but I see some clean
Sign up for
energy.
welfare on the Joe
I see
Biden.
Advancing
racial equality.
That seems nice.
You know,
So again, as we're flipping
regardless of
through
their
here,
race or zip
I
code.
vibe with it.
do you guys see anything on here that looks scary?
No.
He looks so handsome.
Can we compare?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. This isn't a Joe Biden commercial. I'm just curious what this guy's got cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Securing our values as a nation of immigrants. We were founded
There we
on that.
go.
Ending the opioid crisis. This is good stuff. Stopping the epidemic of gun violence. I think that's a nice one.
I was gonna say-
Healthcare,
I haven't heard of
equality, LGBTQ rights, a clean energy future. And listen, I want to just tell people, I know sometimes people get super upset about the a clean energy future, and God forbid that we wouldn't have oil.
Oh,
I mean,
I would love to not have to keep paying this damn oil.
why? Do you know the Bob Marley song there? Have no fear of atomic energy. Yeah, man, natural gas and stuff. It's okay.
Hydrogen fuel, you know.
If the United States can be the leader in alternative energies, I don't know. That feels like a good thing, doesn't
why
it?
couldn't we just
Little
like
bit.
at least try it? Because we always know that we have like a backup. I don't know why people are so opposed to that, and people are so like global warming is not real, but it is 80 degrees and it is almost Halloween. What in New England? Says who?
I was gonna say it was cold as shit today.
Well,
Alright,
maybe today. But, like, remember that one year that we had
Yeah.
this snowstorm and it was absolutely crazy and nobody had power for weeks, and now
yeah.
we're just out here vibing. I can wear a t-shirt. Tell me global warming's not real.
All right, you
California's on
guys.
fire.
In the official notice, your contribution is incomplete. Well, believe me,
Look
I didn't start it.
Look how
so-
mean he looks.
This looks
And that's the
like
first thing
I
he
don't
goes to.
wanna-
Your contribution is incomplete. You gotta give me money. That's
Well,
crazy.
He's
Let's
pointing
take a
the
look at-
finger at you.
Let's
What?
take a look at Donald Trump, leader of the free world, president of the United States for the last 4 years. Official website. Here we go. Stand with President Trump. Democrats have made it clear that they are the party of high taxes, high crime, and radical socialism.
Starting off with talking about the Democrats instead of what you're going to do.
It's up
Right.
to you to send a message. America will never be a socialist country. President Trump needs you on his team to ensure victory and help us keep America great.
The only tactic that they have are fear ones.
No, seriously, though, look at this.
Put
Literally,
people
fear
against Democrats?
Is
But
there
they don't have-
anything-
What's the policy?
Joe
There's
Biden.
nothing else on here.
Of what?
There's nothing else on the website.
It's
That's
donate.
You
and
got to
invest.
donate.
I kid you not.
Oh, you can go to $0 now, right?
What?
That you. Oh, wow. So you have to donate to him to even.
To even access anything else,
That's
you
sick.
have to donate.
No, that can't be right.
Guys, I am not even joking.
Oh, you got to make an account.
Really?
This is insane.
Look, donate before using an account.
Oh my god, and it's like a weekly amount too. It's not even just like a one-time
No,
donation.
get out of here.
Like,
how
oh
much
my
money?
God.
every
That
week.
is sick.
Hold on a
minute.
minute. I want to say, I wish that were planned. Like I had that like cooked and I was going to, that just was a spur of the moment thing. And I wanted to be fair to Donald Trump.
That is sick. Do you guys, conservatives, do you guys
Are
really
y'all
not see?
for it?
Let me look at the. Do you guys not see what the issue is?
He
He
thinks
is
y'all
playing
stupid.
you. He really plays you
You
guys.
are.
He's like the scammer that literally asked your grandmother for money, right? I could have sworn we had this conversation last week, Joe, right? Or something of the means. That
Yeah.
scammer that's asking your, you know what I mean? Something of the lawns, that scammer that's asking your grandmother for money. That's what he's doing. He's literally asking and begging these old people and saying, you got to stop us from all this badness. You got to give me money. Give me money because you're losing. You know you're going to lose.
All right, Victoria, let me
Racist
get
one.
back to what I said earlier because I surprised you with my comment. I said if you don't like Joe Biden, don't vote for him. So let me clarify my thought and my statement on that. I think you'd like that. Yeah.
Mhm. I mean,
Okay.
I guess, I suppose.
Here's the thing. Here's the deal. Listen, I think if you can honestly look yourself in the mirror, like honestly, like you're
Mhm.
invested in the stock market, right? Your 401k's really blowing up at work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Promotions, you're making more money, your house is worth more money.
Yeah.
You have no black or gay friends that are telling you how bad things are for them personally. If you're in that category and you feel like, look, this guy's done an all right job, he's been getting harassed by the libs, those libtards and that lib media, fake news and all that, constantly attacking our kind-hearted president who donates his salary every quarter. Doesn't have to do that. He needs the money bad. Have you seen his bank account? He owes like 400 mil. Holy smokes. Why is he giving his salary away? He should be storing every penny he can.
So you don't.
But listen, if you can honestly look yourself in the face, look yourself in the mirror, like, do this for me. And you're like, well, look, I know he treats gays, transgendered people, the whole LGBTQ community. He's a little rough on the Hispanics and the blacks. It's not too rough on the Asians, generally speaking.
The Kung Flu virus says differently.
Oh, fair enough. A lot of the times
China
he can be tough on women. He's also sometimes very complimentary of women. Perhaps too complimentary at
One
times.
might say predatory, but
But he
Moving
does it
on.
because he loves America. He gave up his life. Well, he didn't because he didn't divest from his company. He's just got other people basically reporting everything to him. But he gave up this amazing lifestyle of living in mansions and having whatever he wants and doing whatever he wants whenever he wants
to serve his country.
to
Oh,
serve
no, he
his
didn't.
country
He didn't
for
do
no
that
money.
either. He really didn't even serve his country.
oh wait, Wait. This is the thing, though. This is the gag. Nobody, tell me, look at your 401k right now. What is better about that? Tell me about your job. Tell me about your promotion that you got
Ooh.
from Donald Trump. Why are y'all making Donald Trump Jesus? Why are y'all giving him the credit for things that you be working for? I don't understand. Nah, fam, you didn't get a promotion because of Donald Trump. Nah, you just wiped a couple asses at the nursing home, and that's why you got a promotion. I don't understand what the confusion is here. Absolutely crazy. Unless you were in like the 0.3% of like wealth, Donald Trump is not, he ain't doing shit for you. You cannot convince me otherwise. If you can, send proof. I'll leave my email in the comments. Y'all can send me. Just tell me what's going on.
I'm being legit here when I
Prove me
say this.
wrong.
Now, listen, my buddy is a white guy. I think he's generally, sympathetic to the Black Lives Matter thing. Thinks all people should be created equal. Doesn't, wouldn't go to a march or anything like that.
Mhm.
So it's not really, it's not really bothering him per se.
Yeah. So that has
What do you
literally
hold on.
nothing. Like,
Here's the problem.
He's
Here's
so
the problem, and this is where I get in trouble with people. This is where I
I'm
get in
trying-
trouble with people because I shoot off at the mouth, and I say, look, if you support a president who espouses white nationalist and racist policies, by proxy, you are a racist. And
I
they
didn't want
hate
to say it.
people.
I didn't want to say it.
Hold on. People hate that. And they're like, Joe, that's not fair because I'm not a racist. I just condone other people doing racism, and I'm not going to say anything because, well, it doesn't really bother me. And I get that. I get that. What are you going to say to that?
I mean, I could say maybe this. How?
Oh, no, I'm
You
asking,
go
Victoria.
first,
That was me
buddy.
really baiting you in a big way here for lack of anyone else to do it. Rob, you've done a horrible job playing the conservative tonight.
It sucks. I'm already dumb, so to play
Like, you can't even
more
think
dumb.
of stupid shit to say.
No, I can't. I'm already dumb. So for me to dig deeper and find dumber things to say or more dumb things, it's hard. It's hard, and it's
Most of what I just said, by the way, another buddy of mine, a kid I've known my whole life, who, it's funny, a couple of weeks ago, my buddy was like, I'm so tired of all the political stuff. I'm blocking people on Facebook.
now you're
And-
tired.
No,
And
hold up. It gets better, Rob.
God.
It gets better. I'm seeing his post, so clearly I made the cut. I made the cut. I'm probably one of the few people who's still political on Facebook, as are you two. That's why we do the show. Most people are like, no, look, I'm going back to pictures of like my kids and what I had for lunch.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Mhm.
Good. But you
I
can't handle
don't
it.
have time for that.
So for those of us who are still being political, so this guy says he's had it. Well, just today, that list I just mentioned of Trump accomplishments, I got off of his page.
Mm.
You see, he's a
Really?
Trump supporter.
And you made the cut.
I don't know how.
It's because he has no idea what the fuck you are talking about. It just is like,
So here's the thing about this
That's
dude.
why.
I've known this dude and my brother and me have known this dude and his brother since we were little kids. I
Mhm.
see them probably twice a year. Every year, it just happens.
Mhm.
Okay, I see them every year at least twice. I
But-
like his stuff when he posts it. When it's not, because usually what he posts is it makes fun of everybody about how dumb everybody is.
Mhm. Which
But he's a Trump supporter, and he's sick of the political. Like, you can't call people snowflake babies if you are a snowflake baby.
baby. Thank you.
So I guess my greater point to the both of you, and feel free, whichever one of you wants to kind of run with this, the idea that you can support a racist, or somebody whose entire agenda is hate. And as you saw on his website, there's no plan for the second half here.
No, we
You
don't
know
know.
what I'm
what's
saying?
going on.
There was no
Imagine
plan
if
for the first half.
Imagine if the Patriots got to the locker room at halftime.
We'll figure it out.
They're
Super Bowl.
down by 25 to the Niners. Cam Newton looks at Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time and maybe the best second half adjustment guy in the history of the game. And he says, Coach, first half didn't go so great. What's the plan for the second half? And Bill's like, I don't know.
Everything's
No
great.
idea.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
No.
We're not going to do Joe Biden's plan. It would be a disaster. And that's what we're looking at. And to be fair, I mean, this is why I'll give Joe Biden credit. I watched that debate, and there was a bunch of times where I yelled for Joe to say what I would have said.
Mm-hmm.
And he missed the mark most of the night. But
Yep.
at one point, he said, if you want to know what I think, go to joebiden.com.
Smartest thing right there. Smartest plug right there.
And if you go to his website and you see something about socialism or any of the other idiotic, stupid thing that you people talk about, show it to me. Show it to me. And I'll say this too. Again, the right and why you have zero credibility. Zero. I thought Joe Biden was an incoherent idiot, couldn't string two sentences together. Not for nothing. He kicked Donald Trump's ass in both debates.
Yeah.
Mhm. And in the town hall.
Both of them. And I'll tell you what, if you disagree with me, I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Tell him why, Joe. Because I
Because-
disagree with you. I
Right
disagree with you.
Because just the fact that this idiot, incompetent moron can't string two sentences together, that it was even up for debate who won, proves who the better guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Because he shouldn't have been on that level, right?
Joe
To break
Biden
it
was
down, he
so stupid and so incompetent, he would make a fool of himself. He stood his ground better than Hillary did.
That's like saying
So what does
AAA
that
ball
say
can't
about
hit.
Trump?
Yeah,
Seriously.
pretty much
And
saying.
I'll also point out one last thing. Joe Biden's doctor still hasn't asked him to take a cognition test like the president's did. A medical professional.
Did we get that, by the way? Did we pass that? Did we get results on that? Or
We haven't even seen his results from being negative for corona
I was just about to say, or just like
or
the
his
COVID
tax
test.
returns or anything. The guy's here's the look.
I can't wait till he goes to jail.
When you hear Kayleigh McEnany talk about this being the most transparent president of all time, and then somebody's like, where's his taxes? Where's the river, Kayleigh? I mean, are you guys serious?
Mhm.
How do you like look your constituents in the face and you're like, we're telling you the truth. Believe us.
And how do you believe that shit?
Well, it's because I do not say this lightly. Trump supporters have no idea what's going on. They literally they think they live on a different planet. And I know this firsthand experience. I've never actually, I mean, I've seen it once, but I encountered a Trump rally like 5 minutes away from my house like a week ago. And I asked them, I said, how did you like paying Trump's taxes? And they responded to me, we loved it. We love it. We love when Trump doesn't pay his taxes, you whore. That's all they had for me. They
Yeah.
have absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on.
That is like
I'm
a
a
really
That's
personal thing. What a horrible. Why
That's
would they
all
go
they
there?
have.
Because they don't know.
They don't
what
know
is
any
going
better.
on.
They can only put two words together. That's all they know are dumbass insults. Like we're in third grade. Trust
And
me,
they
Joe.
were also just drunk, just sloppy.
You don't say.
intoxicated.
I
Just
think
Public
on the side of
intoxication.
the road.
I think my other biggest problem is some of the people, like the people that I talk to that are Trump supporters, most of them at least, are really smart, reasonable adults otherwise.
Says who?
They're good people. I know they are. And I know that they don't support racism. And the idea that they have to like deflect it or be like, oh, you guys always just say that. It's like, well, not, you know, or the worst one, Rob, the one I hate the most is they're like, you guys throw that word around and it lessens it when it really happens. And it's like, well, you know, there's also varying degrees of
yeah, right.
racial
Racism.
transgressions.
Yeah.
You know, again, Rob, right? I don't think a white person has to get in your face and scream the N-word for you to catch that racist vibe, right? I mean,
No,
sometimes, Rob, sometimes you just know, don't you?
yeah, you just know, it just comes off. That energy just, I would like to say I'm probably 85% right when it comes to filling out a racist by looks and just feeling without you really having to speak to me. And that's one of those things, you don't even have to speak to me and I can pretty much get an idea if you're uncomfortable being around me. Well, we'll keep it that way.
Well, I don't really understand what everybody else doesn't understand about what's going on, because just like with how there's varying degrees of racism, it seems like as a society we've been able to grasp that there's varying degrees of like harassment or like sexual harassment and stuff, and like yelling at somebody on the street like isn't the same as like raping somebody, but it's all sexual harassment. I mean, maybe not everybody has grasped that concept, but I don't understand what the pullback is with the racism, why we can't see
We're still
that's a spectrum.
we're still trying to debate, what is actual freedom of speech versus like hate speech. Like there's still that, it's up for debate. And it sucks, especially if you're down somewhere in the South or in one of these states where conservatives are, dwelling it or rule, certain things, or are judges and stuff like that. If they deem it non-hate speech or hate, like, it sucks. So, these words and the way they word these things is just trash.
Yeah.
Racism's racism. I'm sorry. It's not like that. That's just what it is. Whether you want to call it, whether you want to verbally say it, physically, whatever the case may be, it's fucking racism.
Well, so here's the other problem. In a world where Donald Trump wins re-election, what does that say to minorities across the board?
It says that you got to be careful. Prepare yourself and start playing their game. It's no longer if Trump wins, it's no longer a liberal versus Democrat game. It's a all out. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's literally just a do for yourself, especially if you're a person of color. I'm sorry, like fuck out of there. That just means like nobody, not to say nobody cares, but that's a true divide. And at that point, you really got to fend for yourself. Make sure you're playing their game, getting whatever laws, things legally that you need to do, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, protecting yourself, protecting your family. And like, I know if Trump wins, I'm definitely like, the way I deal with certain people, me personally, my circle's getting super small. My circle's already small, but like it's my little friends list is going to go from like 180 to like 80. And that's just off of the fact that like, even if you're black, I still don't trust you, because no way in hell, with our population. And there's people of color that actually like are voting for him just because Kamala and Biden did some things in their past. They're like, oh no, they did that, so I'm just going with Trump. I'm like, y'all are idiots. So it's just like at that point, I can't trust America. I can't trust Americans, not white people, black people, Hispanic. No, I can't trust Americans to do what's moral and ethically right. So at that point, take care of myself, cut my circle even smaller, and just ride the wave until something happens for the next 4 years, hopefully, and hope there's not a major civil war in between time.
How concerned are either of you about violence on election day? And again, that to me assumes only that Biden's beaten Trump.
Like, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely cannot see any violence ensuing if Trump wins. I mean, I know that there will be
I mean,
rallies, and I know that there will be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that I know for sure if Biden wins, hell is going to break loose. But I think on the other side as well, if Trump wins, I think that we might see the same thing from both sides. I mean, maybe not violence and maybe not like, people like literally like killing people, because I think like people might be bringing like their semi-automatics into the street, just like bra-ta-ta, or like up in people's town halls and the voting centers. That is what I am personally scared about. But I think that there will be just obviously just like a surge of protest, riots, everything if Trump wins. Of course.
I would have to disagree. I think that if Biden wins, I think all the rah-rah conservatives, they're just gonna say whatever. They're not gonna do anything physically. They're gonna talk their shit. I don't think they're gonna really like. They're all like, a lot of these dudes are talk. Most of these dudes are just talk. They're old. They're just tired. And the young dudes, like the poor boys or whoever these punk dudes are, they really don't want the smoke. Like, I don't really see them trying to like attack polling stations. I know the one guy just got like arrested having mad stuff in the van and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I honestly, I'm not scared to go. I don't think that is going to be one of those situations, but we'll see. I don't, you know what I mean? I personally think it'd be safe to go. I don't think no violence is going to ensue. Either way, I think that especially if Trump wins, it's just going to be like, all right, well, he won. We knew it. Let's just see how we're going to get through the rest of this.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be a civil war, but I do think there will be at least a couple of isolated incidents.
Oh yeah,
I think there's certainly going to be people that are going to have taken it a little too serious. Here's my thought. I thought Hillary Clinton was going to win in 2016 because I thought a lot of what Donald Trump said was at least borderline racist, if not full blown. But that's a debate I don't care to have in the last few minutes of the show. I like to think this time again that there's enough decent people in America that, number one, can't tolerate this guy and the way he talks and acts and behaves. And the fact that I think he completely disrespects the greatest office in the history of the world, the presidency of the United States. I think you compound that with the fact that, COVID is raging out of control right now. Number three, the economy's in the toilet, and as he's going to continue to let COVID wreak havoc, where would the economy recover? The Dow, by the way, the stock market dropped 800 points today because of how bad the COVID response has been.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not winning.
Yeah, he's not doing anything.
He's not winning. A conservative court, again, I think in your heart of hearts, you think it somehow protects your Second Amendment rights. Is that how amendments work? And if you're concerned about religious freedom or liberty or whatever that nonsense is,
you should be concerned about that under
the right
Trump.
to be discriminated against. I just, in the name of religion, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I think eventually that whole idea will be gone from America in the future. And we'll look back on this and wonder why we were still slaves to a 2,000-year-old cult.
Seriously.
It's shocking the influence it has on our politics every day because of, I mean, look at Mitch McConnell and his discolored hand and his weird turtle face. That's the guy you want deciding how we should live?
Yeah,
really? That disgusting.
What's wrong with y'all?
No, thanks. All set.
Thanks,
Thank you. Good night.
So, I mean, please vote for somebody, because I know a lot of people, since they don't like Joe Biden and they don't like Trump, they just are like, I'm just not going to vote at all. And I know everybody like watches Joe Rogan and whatever, and I know he publicly is not voting because he doesn't like anybody, but that's your voice. Make sure everybody goes and votes by November 3rd. I don't know if we have another show before then, do we?
Yeah, we actually do. We'll be on the night before the election.
Ooh, prime time.
Love that for us. So make sure to catch us next week before the election. Make sure to go and watch Robert's show. I'll pitch you off shortly right now. You can catch us on clovercrestmedia.com/dividedweststand. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else. Figure it out. That's it for us. Bye.